Right. So yeah, a lot of times people think of, you know, the big Kansas City,
Right.
but really Wichita is the biggest city
Right.
in the state of Kansas.
Right.
And so yeah, we think of Dorothy, and but you know what? God, like I said, God must have been in that because
All the way.
all the
All the
way.
way. All the way. I have made some of the vast choices in business that I had to make, that if I couldn't, I wouldn't be able to be here if I didn't take this choice and make this critical decision. And in my head, I knew the whole time, hey, look, I didn't have it, and I was still walking and still going through. And can you believe 3 years ago I had a camera phone and learning how to do things on a laptop my sister gave me.
Okay.
And now, you know, on my grand opening day, I get to laugh at people like they laughed at me.
Well, I want to go back to being homeless just again, because there was a point in time, and I did some work with the homeless, and I used to hear their stories, and they would tell me, you know, a memorable story is that they were homeless either by choice, because you know some people like to travel with no baggage, it's like I'm just going. And then some people told me it's just, you know, by circumstance, you know, things happen, and it's not like I wanted to be homeless. Things happen, so I'm sure you didn't want to be homeless.
No, I had to take advantage of timing. You know, I was just about to have my daughter at the time. And I said that I've already had my son, and I was like, you know, in this little city, and I was like, nah, I'm not going to be this. This is not going to be me. This is not going to great. And I looked around and I asked people, I said, where's the nearest city where all the black people are? You know, and where can I go? Where can I go? And I went to an entrepreneur resource center that was in Manhattan, Kansas. And the young lady handed me a pamphlet that said launch prep on it. And I was like, okay, it's in Wichita, it's part of WSU, great things, you know. And at the time, I had this little business, you know, this little shoe shine business and stuff like that. And I was like, okay, great. Like, I'm on my way to Wichita. I closed down this little thing that I had, you know, while I was getting stuff going. I was trying to sell shoes. I was cleaning sneakers, and you know, I called it Kickstarter. You know, I got to learning some stuff, you know, before I got here. But I was like, okay, but this is where I'm going. I'm not worried about that.
Okay, that is awesome because, you know, again, you had a vision. You had a vision. You knew you needed to get some more tools in the toolbox, and you know what? You went for it. Obviously you made some sacrifices.
A lot of them.
You know, along the way, but you had a goal in mind, and that's something we got to keep remembering. When you have a goal, you can't be like, it didn't work, forget it. If you have a goal, that means you're trying to get somewhere. Yeah.
And you know, I want to also tell people, like, hey, listen, don't ever, you know, if you see me sitting here, you see this studio, you see that networking, you see things up on that television, I want you to remember that somebody told me I couldn't do this. Somebody told me I couldn't own this in Wichita, Kansas. Somebody said that I couldn't be a steeple for television for black people or any community. People laugh. They laugh. You know, one investor told me, you know, he was like, I'm about to go buy an RV, you know, with this money. Why would I give it to you?
Right.
You know, and I said, okay, great, you know, and I said, okay, all right, you know. Let me go buy you 10 RVs now. Like, you know, I don't, you know, I'm starting to feel it a little bit, but I gotta be here, you know, like
still gotta be a little humble, but you know, I know I watch TV all the time. We all do. We go to YouTube and watch YouTube stuff. We're on Facebook. Facebook has a little network. You can watch shows. We know that black people, we are consumers.
Right.
So why wouldn't we want to consume ourselves?
You know, it's an effect that a lot of people never get to really understand. You know, we consume, but do we understand why we consume? Right.
And you know, and you know, we got a broad audience, and we know everybody's watching, black, white, everybody. The content is specifically to bring highlights to our people, right? But we know other people like our culture too.
Oh,
and not to take it over,
Right.
you know, but they like to partake in our culture. So,
Correct.
so y'all come on in. Y'all gonna see some positive stuff from black folks.
Right.
The negative images,
When you get the negative appeal, a lot of times, you know, it's already on us. It's
Right.
already on us.
It's already there.
You know, the question mark is here, whether you like it or not. You know, and you know, I'm glad that a lot of things took place. You know, in these last few years, with politics and different things like that. You know, in communities. You know, I'm glad it happened.
Right.
So that now we see we need to make a change.
Right.
You know.
And everybody sees it, and that's the
yeah.
good thing.
Oh, yeah.
We've been knowing it for a while. Most of us have been woke for a while, so we've been seeing that a change needs to happen. But so often in our communities, you know, you get a few that make it.
Oh yeah.
And then people see the ones that made it, and so they feel okay. They're comfortable that, well, you know, they pulled themselves up. Well, everybody else can do it. So all right. But now the spotlight is on you. There's a lot of people out there that need help. There's a lot of people out there that have skills and abilities that have been denied the opportunity.
Oh, of course.
Denied.
Of course.
And
Doors shut.
Doors shut.
And speaking of doors shut, it's like, watch who you shut the door on. You know, it's a thing of the past. You know, the very person that you close the door in front of, gonna walk around the building or dig a tunnel into whatever they want to get into.
I love it.
And when they surface, and they have to be able to control the key to whatever they want to be able to do as a choice. You know, in good character, good standard.
Right.
You know, and experience.
Right.
You know, that's another lesson for you. You know, as a leader or as a person. You know.
Right. You know, I immediately I thought about the Bible when it talks about be careful how you treat people because you could be entertaining angels. You know, the other metaphor, watch who you're walking on when you're moving up, because you might have to come back down someday. So, you know, both of those, they tie into how do you treat people.
But you know what? I had to be, during this whole process of getting exactly to where I wanted to go, you know, I wasn't blessed with the financial ability to do it. I wasn't. I was blessed with hard work and sacrifice. And I had to learn that I was blessed during the whole thing and walk blessed during the whole thing.
Right.
And you know, now the people who said I wasn't blessed, you know, you gotta tell other people you blessed and say, hey, listen, I'm blessed through this guy here too. You know, or this platform here and now I'm saying, hey, listen, let us all be blessed in this name.
Let us all be blessed together. and that's how it works.
Yeah.
And that's how it should work. Now, sometimes it don't always work that way with us. Sometimes, like I said, we get to where we need to get and we're good. But if you can bless somebody else along the way, that means, like you said, everybody's blessed.
Right.
When everybody's blessed, we as a people, we all come up. We all do better.
Right.
You know, and so we can't, the old crab mentality, if it's even really true, I know it is to a certain extent. It is.
During entrepreneur experiences, there's some situations where you honestly, you can't tell everybody everything.
Right.
You know, it even go back to your blessings, you know. Some blessings, some people have to be inspired from afar. You know, rather than you walking up telling them, hey, listen, I'm blessed. You got to tell everybody you're blessed.
Right, right.
You don't have to tell everybody that, you know, but you have to be able to walk in it and say, hey, listen, you see me being blessed, don't you?
Right.
You know, I got to watch how I deal with it.
And, you know, I've always been told that sometimes you don't have to tell your story. Your life going to tell your story.
Oh, of course.
People going to look up and be like, wait a minute, is culture really on? Wait a minute, did I just turn? What?
The guy in the barbershop the other day, that I'm walking through right now, but before this airs, you know, by the time this airs, you know, it was an experience that came back full circle. Every place I've slept at and didn't have money, or wherever I was in the last 30 days, I've been there again. And a lot of the doors that were closed to me, I own the doors now.
Okay.
And it's a